Hi yogis! Today we're going to focus on nurturing your lower back. We're going to do some poses that really help to support your lower back if it feels tight or tense, but we're also going to work at strengthening the muscles in the back and the muscles in the core a little bit as well. That contributes to having a good posture, which can really help take some of the stress off of your lower back and get you feeling a little bit better. One block is all that you will need for our practice today, and we're going to begin in an easy child's pose. So doing a wide-legged child's pose with the knees wide apart can be pretty difficult on the lower back, especially if the hips are tight. So for this one, we're going to keep our knees about hip-width distance apart or so, and instead of reaching our arms in front of us, we're going to let the belly rest over the thighs. Fingertips will reach towards the back of the feet, and then the forehead can either rest on a block if you feel like the floor is a little too far away, or if it puts a strain on your lower back. Otherwise, forehead goes straight down. Take a good minute or so here in this pose just to get settled. Allow the spine to curve and the shoulders to drop. Make the most of your time in this pose by breathing into the back. So feel the shoulder blades expand on the inhale, and let the breath travel all the way down into the lower back, sacrum, and hips. Take your last 5 deep breaths here. Let's walk the palms back in front of us and use your arms to press into the floor to lift back up. So while you're already sitting on your heels, we'll just stretch a little bit into the front of the feet, which is an area we can often neglect. So walk your palms back behind you and just start to lift the shins and the knees off the floor. Elbows stay bent, and you're trying to lift the collarbones and the chest up towards the sky, lightly squeezing your shoulder blades behind you. Release, knees come back down to the floor. Let's bring our legs forward and take a seat. This can be cross-legged, it can be kneeling, or up on a block. You'll want to hold onto your knees. We're going to do cat and cow from a seated stance. So as you inhale, you're going to lift your chest up towards the sky and squeeze your shoulder blades behind your back. And on the exhale, we're going to round the spine and bring the chin in towards the chest. So inhale, lift up, look up. And exhale, round and contract. Take a few more and go at your own pace. Move with your breath. Notice if you feel compression in the lower back. If so, try to bring the movement a little bit higher up in the spine, more in the shoulders and the chest. About our last full round here. Coming back, lifting all the way up. Let's take an easy twist. Bring your right fingertips behind you, left hand over your right knee. As you inhale, lift and lengthen, and on the exhale, move into your twist by pulling that right shoulder back. Lower belly draws in and up. So notice how that right hip kind of wants to pull back a little. Keep drawing it forward. This is the upper body twisting. Inhale through the nose. And exhale, release. Let's go to the other side. So right hand over your left knee. Left fingertips go behind you. Inhale to lift the chest. And exhale to twist. Pull your left shoulder back. So no slouching. Core is slightly engaged. One more inhale through the nose. And exhale, release. Let's come onto all fours, hands and knees. Palms should be underneath the shoulders, knees are underneath the hips. Firm up your belly a little bit. As you inhale, you're gonna reach your right leg up towards the sky. Keep the belly really strong and extend through your heel. Inhale here, and then exhale, pull your knee in towards your belly and see if you can tap your knee to your nose. Inhale, reach it back. And exhale, squeeze it in. 2 more like this. Inhale, extend. Exhale, pull it in. Next time you extend, you're gonna reach that right leg back and then drop the toes to the floor. You're gonna roll to the inner edge of your right foot so that you can lean on your left knee and your left hand. I find it easier to curl the toes under here to hold my balance, and the right arm is gonna reach up. So engaging our core and our abdominals plays a key part in how we feel in our lower back. So we're going to extend our right arm forward, bicep is along the ear, and now lean into your left hand, left knee, and hover the right leg off the ground. As you inhale, stretch and lengthen, and on the exhale, you're gonna bend the knee and the elbow and see if you can bring them in together to touch. Let's do that 3 more times. So inhale, extend. And then exhale, squeeze it in, engaging the obliques. Inhale, reach. Exhale, contract. Inhale, extend. This is our last one. So exhale, squeeze it in. Let's look down, tabletop pose, and we're gonna lower all the way down to our belly. So rock the weight forward, bend the elbows, chin and chest to the floor. Press the tops of the feet into the ground, slide your forearms forward, lift up to Sphinx pose. If this is too much or too deep of a back bend, walk your palms a little bit further forward so there's less of an angle in the lower back. Take 2 breaths, pulling the heart forward, drawing the shoulders back. Melt the chest down. Let's come up into our baby cobra. So inhale, chin and chest lift up. We're here for 3 breaths. So keep pressing the tops of the feet down into the floor. No need to look up too high here. Stay long in the neck. Try to squeeze your shoulder blades behind you. Lift the elbows up. Try to point your tailbone towards your heels so the lower back is flat. 1 more inhale. And then exhale, release, palms underneath the shoulders. Press back into your easy child's pose. Big toes together, knees not too wide apart. Arms back, forehead to the floor. 5 breaths here. And let's lift back up, tabletop pose on our hands and knees. Align the shoulders over the wrists. The knees are underneath the hips. We're going to extend our left leg up and back. Belly is strong and engaged. Inhale here. And then exhale, pull your knee in towards your nose, round a little bit. Inhale, extend and lift. Exhale, squeeze it in. 2 more. So inhale, reach it back. Exhale, pull it in. Last one, reach and extend. Keep it there. You're gonna drop your left toes to the floor. Start to lean on your right knee, your right palm, roll to the inside edge of your left foot as you extend your left arm up. So I find it easier to tuck the right toes under for stability. Lean on your knee and your palm, and then the left leg will reach up. Left arm will extend up and over, bicep along the ear. As you inhale, you lengthen, and on the exhale, you bend the elbow and the knee and bring them in together to touch. Inhale, extend, keep floating the leg off the ground. Exhale, squeeze it in. 2 more like this. So inhale, lengthen and reach. Exhale, squeeze it in. Last one. Inhale, long. Exhale to contract. Look down, palm and knee to the floor. We're gonna lower onto our belly. So rock your weight forward and lower down. Pointing the toes back. Let's slide the forearms on the ground. Lifting up to Sphinx pose. 3 breaths here. Create more space in the chest. And let's lower down. We're gonna come up to baby cobra, holding it for 3 breaths. Re-extend through the legs. Inhale to lift. See if you can lift your elbows just as high as the shoulders. Press into the legs. 1 more breath in. And exhale, release. Bring your palms under the shoulders. Instead of pressing to a child's pose, we're gonna take our first down dog. Keep your hands shoulder width distance apart. Instead of having your feet hip width distance apart like we normally would in downward facing dog, we're gonna widen our stance. So you can bring your feet all the way over towards the edges of the mat, and then go ahead and bend your knees quite a bit so that you can reach the tailbone back and up. Stretching out the arms nice and long. So having this wider stance and the knees generously bent is a really great way to take pretty much all of the pressure out of the lower back in down dog. Because if you are working with any injuries or sensitivities, down dog is normally not really a pose that would probably feel too good. From this downward dog, we're gonna step to the top of the mat. So take your time to get there. There's really no rush. And we're going to fold forward, but again, because we're protecting our lower back, go ahead and really bend your knees. Let the upper body completely dangle, maybe sway a little side to side. We certainly do not want to be locking our joints or hyperextending in the legs. Bend your knees a tiny bit more, and we're gonna roll all the way up to stand, inch by inch. Head and shoulders are the last to make their way up, and we're gonna draw our shoulders down and away from the ears, palms shine forward. Mountain pose is really important, so step to the top of the mat, bring your feet hip width distance apart, feel the tailbone lengthen down, the abdominals hug in, the shoulders draw back, and the palms shine forward. So a really solid posture. We're gonna lean on our left leg and bring your right knee in towards your chest. Engaging hip flexor strength, the lifted there. See if you can lift your right knee up a tiny bit higher, and then let's hold on to the front of the shin and pull the knee in a little bit more. Staying really tall and long through the left leg. Maybe do a few ankle rolls or flex and point the toes with your right foot. Keep your knee up, just bring your hands on your hips. We're going to carefully step it back into a high lunge. So bend the left knee, and with control, you're gonna reach those right toes all the way back. You want your feet to be at least hip width distance apart. If balance is tricky, widen your stance even more. Left knee needs to bend. Now, another place where we normally will tweak our lower back is taking a lunge like this. If your leg is really straight, you might notice that your pelvis tips forward, and then you end up with a big crease in your lower back. So instead, bend your knee a little bit so that you can scoop your tailbone under, not necessarily flattening the lower back completely, but just maintaining your natural curve. So not over exaggerating at all. Take an inhale to lift the crown of the head up, keep your hands on your hips, and just tilt forward and hold here. So a 45-degree angle or so, one long line from the crown of your head all the way back into your right foot. This is a really nice way to strengthen the back and strengthen the legs. Bend your left knee a tiny bit more. And then palms will come down to the floor. Let's step back to plank pose. We're going to stay 5 breaths in plank. It's up to you if you want to keep your knees off the ground. Otherwise, the knees can come down on the floor. We want to strengthen our core and pull the lower belly in. Keep reaching into the heels while lengthening the heart forward. Spine is nice and tall. Hugging the inner thighs in. Take one more full breath. And let's all bring our knees to the floor first. Really easily lower down to your belly. Point the toes back for cobra. No need to go up too high. Be mindful of your lower back. Exhale to release, and we're gonna press back into that modified down dog. So feet are wide and knees are bent. Reach to the heels. Shake out the head once or twice. Stretch out the arms, and just like we did the first time, we're gonna walk forward and take that super easy forward fold to the top of the mat. So again, feet can be really wide, arms can dangle over the legs. Maybe sway a little, or you can rock back and forth, side to side. Breathing into the lower back, inviting it to decompress a little more. Pressing strongly through the legs, and bend the knees even more, and let's roll all the way up. Head and shoulders are the last to come up. And we're gonna come to mountain pose at the front of the mat. So feet hip width distance apart. Pull your shoulders back, lengthen tailbone down. Upper ribs are hugging in. You're gonna lean on your right leg and squeeze and lift your left knee in towards your chest. Use hip flexor and abdominal strength to do it at first. See if you can lift it up a tiny bit more, and then catch a hold of the front of your shin and pull it in a little closer. Maybe doing those same little ankle rolls, or flexing and pointing the toes. You want to be really stable through your right leg. Keep your left knee exactly where it is. Just bring your hands on your hips. We're gonna step it back into our high lunge, nice and slow with control. Left toes back, feet are hip width distance apart, right knee is bending. And again, you might need to bend your left knee a little bit. Just be mindful of your lower back and drop your hips down low. So stretching in the hip flexors is a wonderful way to open up and get a little bit more flexible in the spine. As you inhale, lift up. And then on the exhale, we're gonna tilt forward and hover. So don't let the belly completely rest over that thigh. The goal here is to strengthen the abdominals and strengthen the muscles along the spine, while very obviously engaging the glutes. I'm sure you'll feel it pretty soon. See if you can bend your right knee a tiny bit more. And now looking down to the floor, we meet in plank pose. So palms down, right foot next to the left, 5 breaths in your plank. Strong belly. Feel free to drop your knees to the floor if having them up is too much. Just avoid holding your breath. Take another extension, inhale. And then knees come down first. Let's lower. Toes are pointing back, cobra. No need to look up too high or press up too high. Just get an opening in the chest. Exhale to release, and now let's go back into that easy child's pose. Big toes together, knees about hip width distance apart or so, arms reaching back, forehead to the ground. Let's roll back up and unwind. So tabletop pose. You'll just need to step your right foot forward in between the hands to the top of the mat. Still bending into your left knee. So setting up for your low lunge, make sure you're not letting your right knee go too far past your ankle. At most, you're gonna keep it stacked directly over top of it. And then hands on your hips as you lift up. Just like we did in our high lunge, find that same integrity and space in the lower back as you press your hips forward and down. Take your last breath here. And then start to lean forward a little so you can bring your fingertips down to the ground. Curl the back toes under. We're gonna come into a seated twist. So left knee we'll go behind your right foot until you can sit your hips down to the floor. So you're crossing your right foot over the top of your left thigh, still facing forward towards the top of the mat. Bring your right fingertips behind you. Inhale, left arm up. And then exhale to twist left elbow to your inner right thigh as you open up. Deep breath in through the nose, lift up a little taller. And then exhale, slowly unwind. Let's bring our legs out in front of us. Knees are bent a little bit. Rock the weight back into the hips, coming into boat pose. So shins parallel to the ground, arms reaching forward. Another really great pose if you're working on increasing the strength in your lower back. Take another breath. And let's set our feet to the floor. Bring your palms down, tabletop pose. On your hands and knees, and we'll go do that on the second side. So from tabletop, you're gonna bring your left foot forward in between your palms, setting up for our low lunge. So don't let your left knee go past the ankle. And then come on up, hands on your hips. Lifting out of the lower back, so both sides of the ribs are really up and tall. Pressing your hips forward and down. Just relax your shoulders and your neck. Take 2 breaths in those right hip flexors. And we'll lean our chest forward a little bit. Fingertips come down to the floor. Curl the back toes under, and you're going to slide your right knee behind the left foot. Sitting down. So sitting up for your twist, you're crossing your left ankle over the top of the right thigh. Left fingertips go back behind you. As you inhale, reach the right arm up. Exhale to twist, hooking your right elbow to that left thigh, pulling the left shoulder back. Inhale through the nose. Exhale to unwind. Bring your feet forward. We're gonna set ourselves up for boat pose, just a few breaths. So rock the weight back, shins parallel to the ground. Careful not to round here. You wanna stay lifted up nice and tall, squeezing the inner thighs towards one another. Reaching through the fingers and toes. Inhale. And let's release. So instead of crossing the ankles and going to your tabletop pose, you're actually just going to lower all the way down to your back. Keep your knees bent, feet flat on the floor, and you'll want to make sure that your block is still close by within grabbing distance. We're gonna come into our reclined pigeon pose. So right ankle will hook over the top of your left knee. Keep your right foot flexed and press your knee away from you. If this is enough, stay here. Otherwise, you're gonna reach through and pull your left knee in towards the belly. Try to use as little energy or strength in the arms as you can. Make this a simple, passive pose. Give it one last big squeeze. And then set the left foot back down to the floor. Before we do the other side, just bring both knees in towards the belly and maybe rock a little bit side to side, massaging the lower back. And then the other side, so right foot down, cross your left ankle over the top of the right thigh. Keep that left foot flexed and press your knee away from you. From here, let's pull our right knee in towards the chest. You can hold on to the back of the thigh or the front of the shin. attention to the quality of your breath. Maybe give it one more big squeeze. And let's release. One last time, pull your knees in towards your belly. You can rock a little. Feet will come down flat to the ground. We're going to finish with a variation of legs up the wall. If you are close to a wall, you can always do that right up against it. Otherwise, I'm just going to use a block. Lift the hips. Put the block directly underneath your hips or underneath the tailbone. Keep it on its lowest level. You don't need to boost it up any higher than that. And we're just going to extend the legs up towards the sky. So definitely one of the more soothing poses that you can do if you do have tension in your lower back. And you can experiment with this one as well. Some people will prefer to keep the block underneath them and just let the knees drop in towards the chest. Legs to decompress. So if this pose feels restorative enough to serve as Shavasana for you, you really are welcome to stay exactly as you are. If you wanted to go into the traditional variation of Shavasana, you can just start to bend the knees. Really no rushing. Feet can come back down to the floor. We're going to lift our hips and move the block off to the side. Do any little final movements that you need to do. Otherwise, the legs can straighten out as we set ourselves up for these last few minutes of silence and stillness. If having the legs straight out in front of you feels uncomfortable or feels like there's pinching in your lower back, you can keep your knees bent and your feet flat on the floor, letting the knees fall in towards one another, or sometimes putting a block under each knee can help that as well. So adjusting however you need to, until you can settle in this pose and let go. To hold Shavasana longer, you can just stay as you are. Otherwise, slowly wake yourself back up. Maybe wiggle fingers and toes. Turn the head side to side. And let's bend the knees one at a time. Just pull them in towards the belly. Giving the thighs a big squeeze, maybe rocking a little. And we will roll over to one side. Use your arms to help you up. And just take a seat, cross-legged, kneeling, or up on a block. Sit up nice and tall. Let's bring our hands to the heart, closing with one breath together. Inhale through the nose and out the mouth. Thank you so much for practicing. I hope you enjoyed this class, and I hope your lower back feels a little bit of relief. Hopefully you will practice with me soon in the future. Namaste.